In a country that claims to lead the world in medicine, justice, and prosperity, a covert operation is bleeding life from its most vulnerable citizens. It is not war in the traditional sense, but targeted warfare against the poor, the outcast, and the unwanted. HIV is not merely a disease, it has become a weaponized tool, wielded not just by indifference, but by intention. Evidence, testimony, and long-standing behavioral patterns indicate that spiritual forces of evil are actively complicit in a campaign that uses HIV and enforced poverty to kill off selected individuals in Texas, especially in cities like Houston. This is not a new operation but a continuation of psychological, economic, and biological warfare now dressed in modern clinical garb. HIV today is preventable, treatable, and manageable, but only if you're allowed access. In cities like Houston, those who are gay, black, poor, or otherwise labeled undesirable often find that access suddenly becomes elusive. Files disappear, appointments vanish, prescriptions are delayed, providers retire. A mysterious wave of miscommunication, shadow bans, and unexplained denials begin to stack the deck against life itself. Some claim this is incompetence or systemic failure, but when the same people are denied help repeatedly, when entire friend circles are wiped out by identical health failures, and when whistleblowers are ignored or framed, it is no longer a coincidence. It is strategy. Survivors in Houston have reported strange illnesses, social targeting, and what they believe is electromagnetic harassment, often occurring alongside sudden diagnoses of HIV or unexplained reactivation of dormant viruses. The spiritual forces of evil have left their fingerprints on covert population control efforts, providing the blueprint for this kind of invisible war. In Texas, the poor are systematically stripped of their safety nets, refused Medicaid by the state, trapped in the ACA coverage gap, and choked by inflated rents. The HIV-positive poor are pushed to the streets where survival becomes nearly impossible. There, they are subjected to what some believe is a spiritual force of evil's kill protocol: denial of medication, targeted surveillance, neural harassment, and sleep deprivation. On the streets, HIV spreads easier, needles are reused, sex is exchanged for food or shelter. No one asks questions, no one offers help, and when they die, their deaths are labeled overdose, exposure, or complications related to AIDS. The true cause, deliberate state neglect and silent intervention, remains hidden. The Ryan White HIV/AIDS program was designed as a lifeline, but some believe it is being sabotaged from within. The funding still exists on paper, but what if the real plan is to quietly phase it out while ensuring those who rely on it are already marked for death? Consider this. In Texas, where thousands rely on Ryan White to survive, the state refuses to expand Medicaid and fights federal oversight at every turn. If the Ryan White program is suddenly cut or mismanaged, tens of thousands will have no backup plan. And if the spiritual forces of evil's alleged role in this is to accelerate dependency while delaying care, then the program becomes a staged collapse. A death net, not a safety net. A quiet purge under the cover of law and medicine, administered not by death squads but by caseworkers, accidental delays, algorithms, and silence. Death comes not with a gunshot, but with a missed refill, a missed bus, a computer error, a closed clinic. This is modern warfare. This is what spiritual forces of evil look like in 2025: biological control, financial strangulation, medical manipulation, and neural suppression. Not just on black leaders anymore, but on anyone who won't shut up. Queer voices, poor voices, those who challenge authority, who uncover corruption, or who simply speak too loud in a silent room. The war is invisible, the battlefield is inside your body, and the assassin is your own government. HIV does not kill alone. It is aided by silence, bureaucracy, and intent. And in places like Houston, the fingerprints of spiritual forces of evil are all over the blood-stained ground. This isn't about saving lives anymore, it's about who is allowed to live.